Okay, we are live, it says. Here we are, live on YouTube, as far as I know, with my dear old friend, Redwulf. Say hello.
Hello, how are you?
He is just recently become a YouTube celebrity, and he makes pretty regular videos about tarot cards and their meaning. So, how did you ever get started with that?
Oh, well, I guess it's that if my partner's ex-wife was telling us that she had been pulling a tarot card and she wanted to get, a daily reading, and so she looked on the internet and found different sources that were giving daily readings, and she said to Feather, Redwolf to do this because he has more information and and can pass it along much easier than most of these people that she's finding. So, with a little push, I said, well, okay, I guess I'll try that. It seemed a little daunting to me to attempt to do 78 cards and formulate what I believe about them onto something that someone would want to hear. But I'm doing it. I'm about halfway through the 78 cards. I'm at about number 39, I think, right now. I'm hoping to be done by end of April with the other 30, some 37 cards. Yes, 38 cards, 39 cards, 39 cards.
Well, that's great. Now, and when did you start? What, like, was it in December
Um,
or was it
I
this
think it was
year?
in December or January. I think it was maybe January, but maybe it was in December that I started.
Hmm. Well, I love your videos. I love them. I can't get over the costumes involved, and the production is very good. So
Thank you.
it's so nice to see those. And it's nice to hear your voice and hear you talk too.
Thank you
Now,
very
you
much.
just recently moved from where you were in, what was it, Rama? Rama?
Well, it was near Rama, but it's actually El Moro, and El
El
Moro
Moro.
is it was El Moro RV Park. It was formerly a town called El Moro, unincorporated, I think, in the 50s. Still not incorporated back, but it still has an entity of being a town. A few little different businesses there. I was a manager. Well, I was the Friday and Saturday night gourmet chef and baker for a number of years, and then I became just the baker for a number of years, and then over the last 5 years, my body kind of gave out, and I stopped doing the physical baking and became just the baking manager, and my partner was the manager uh, of the restaurant and the property, and so we just came to find that after COVID hit, it was a really challenging financial situation, and they weren't really paying us enough money to live up there that easily. So we decided we needed to move to Albuquerque, which is 2 hours away. We came down from 7,500 feet above sea level to about mile high above sea level, down in the Rio Grande Valley in Albuquerque.
Oh, so it's a much lower elevation.
Yes.
Does the air seem thick and crazy to you?
No, the air's pretty good here. I mean, Albuquerque's pretty open. Got a lot of open air, and it's got a lot of movement of winds pushing down through the valley, coming off the big mountains to the north. The Rockies are, 14,000 feet, and they're only a few miles really away from us. We have
Hmm.
mountains right now that are 12,000, I think, right beside us, Sandias, and um, so we're still kind of in mountain air. We still got the push of the cold stream that pushes all the air to be pretty clean. I feel much better at this lower elevation, and I don't have the ice and snow of the winters, where it's about 15 degrees colder, and it stayed about minus 20 to zero for most of January when we've lived there before. So this winter was much
Wow.
calmer. I didn't fall down on ice. It didn't hurt my body, and so
So you
a lot
think
of
you
pluses.
both are, oh, so you think you both like Albuquerque
Yes, we like Albuquerque a lot. It's a really nice place. We're learning how to get around and navigate the city. We're reaching out to touch more people, more of our kindred spirits, and um, we're pushing it along. It seems to be pretty good.
Well, when you did live in El Moro, some of the people moved to Albuquerque, right? Some of your
We have
friends.
an extended expatriates kind of El Moro group here, with like 10 or 15 people that used to live up there that now, uh, usually financially or they retired and wanted to be in a little easier place than the ruggedness of El Moro and the Zuni Mountains up there. It's a kind of a hard scrabble life, but it's a beautiful kind of remote hermitage kind of life at the same time up there. And so a lot of them came down here. We're still very much in action with many old friends.
Well, great. Now, what kind of things have you found in Albuquerque since you've been there?
To do what?
Just what kind of things have you found like that you like up in that city?
Oh, well, it's so, up there we had to travel for an hour to go get food. If we wanted to go out to a restaurant, we had to travel an hour to Graz or an hour to
Yeah.
Gallup. There was no really other restaurants around. Shopping was usually an hour away in either direction. Any kind of doctors and any kind of really social or medical facilities uh, were far away, and we often just kind of had to stay there until we could get out and had to get out. And so right now it's we can jump in the car and really be anywhere downtown in 5 minutes or to any kind of thing we need, usually within 20 minutes, but 10 minutes is an average right now. We're right off of I-40 and Interstate 25. So we jump on the big old stream and go to wherever we need to go. We've done great restaurants. I'm enjoying the sushi restaurants dramatically, and there's a great, of all varieties here. It's a pretty multi cultural kind of place. Otherwise, uh, getting involved with different groups, tarot groups, and uh, the source down in Albuquerque is a good place where little retreats happen and little healing sessions happen. And I'm doing a trance drum journey there the first Thursday night of every month, open to people to come and meet a power animal of their chakras or to meet a guide or a spirit guide or an ancestor through some kind of trance journey that I'm providing. So yeah, it's opening up in new directions.
And you just did one of those like a week ago, right?
Last Saturday night up in Santa Fe, yes, we had a beautiful day of Feather and I both offered our psychic readings during the day, and then we culminated with a trance drum journey for about 6 people that night. Went from about 5:30 to about 7:30 that night.
Well, did you know that I have a friend who lives in Santa Fe? That's
I did know that,
Marie.
but I didn't know that they were still
Yeah,
there.
Marie. She still lives in Santa Fe. She actually lives like south of the city and stuff. She just
Way
kind of
cool.
out like with mountains, or she has a beautiful place. And I wanted to mention also that you took some beautiful pictures of the Rio Grande with like mist rising and stuff. You want to tell about that or how you did that or
Yeah, it's
anything?
it's so odd to uh, have mist and fog in these places. So it's pretty rare. But there was just one beautiful morning, or a couple of beautiful mornings actually, where it got really icy cold, and then the it gets can climb to 50 degrees in the afternoons here in Albuquerque. So it was zero at night, and it was 50 degrees in the day, and the mist started coming off the river valley, and just beautiful mist popping up. And live about I live on the mesa, the west mesa that overlooks the Rio. So I walk my dog every morning and look out over this mesa, and I saw amazing mist coming off of the Rio, and it was just a phenomenal shots. And so that was beautiful.
Now, did you take those with a digital camera or with your phone?
My little Samsung phone.
Yeah, I know. Isn't it wild how you can get really good pictures with the phone?
Yeah, I'm very happy. I've always had a
Well,
camera on me, so now I have a tiny camera, and doesn't weigh a lot, and I can go anywhere with it. Except it runs out of
Yeah,
power quicker. But
it's
you know,
nice. Now, what has Feather been doing since you moved there?
Feather has taken a job as a manager of a big car wash chain that comes out of Texas. It has 30 or 40 different outlets, a bunch of them in New Mexico themselves. He's a site manager and one down in Los Lunas, and so he's been working hard. Um, with a bunch of kids, 17-year-olds who work there, and he's always been kind of a father, mentor, teacher. So he loves that aspect of working with kids and helping them to understand their lives better, and helping them to grow into more professional beingness. And so that's been very fulfilling for him, and it allows us to be here right now.
That's great. That's great. Well, I think Albuquerque is a neat place to be, actually. I actually have another friend who lives in Albuquerque.
Not
She's
here
a
yet, though.
woman, yeah, she's a woman that I met. She used to work at Allegheny College,
Hmm.
and she lived in Wisconsin for a while, and then she was in Santa Fe for a while, and now she's in Albuquerque. It's
Oh, you have
wonderful.
to give me her name as well. Maybe I can
Yeah,
connect in.
yeah, I mean, she could be around the corner from where you are. I don't
She
know, it's crazy. But yeah, I've known her for a long time, I want to say since the 80s, maybe.
Hmm.
And she's originally from Iowa, but she
Hmm.
was working as a counselor at Allegheny College.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I will do that. I'll do that. So what else? And what else are you doing? You have dogs to walk. You have videos to make. What else goes on with you?
Uh, well, over the years of being up there at El Moro, um, seem to have collected a lot of stuff, being a quadruple Virgo and Feathers a Pisces. So we're both kind of pack rats. So we packed a lot of stuff in, and then it took a heck of a lot of moves to get all that stuff down here, including a big 24-foot U-Haul packed to the gills, and then a whole bunch of other trips. So we jammed our two uh, car garage full, and we jammed our living room full of boxes, and we've been still unpacking. We haven't unpacked everything, but we had so much extra, and we said, well, let's put some of it into a little shop. So we got a little 10 by 10 space in a place called Past, Present, and In Between, a little flea market. So we are now putting some of our stuff into the flea markets, and we are going to be putting some of our stuff onto eBay. And so we're kind of antique movers as well, and vintage clothing and costume clothing. We're moving through, so that's one other aspect that we're working on. um, what else are we doing? Well, I do, the healing work. I have my healing room set up, so I do my Reiki polarity sound work. um, Upstairs, I have my reading room upstairs, and I'm doing internet readings, psychic readings. Feather is also now doing more readings, which is really good to see. He loves animal cards. He's been studying animal patterns of behavior for years and years and years. He was a professional uh, fly casting teacher on the San Juan River for years. And so he'd take clients out there and show them, what nymphs were coming off the water, and where the fish might be hiding, and how to troll in different places for what might be there. So he has all this amazing information about fish and animals, and so he reads medicine cards and tells people his psychic hits on where their lives are compared to the animals and what the animals might be telling them. So he goes that direction, and I go to the more uh, tarot and other divination cards and speak to them from that realm. So we do some pretty interesting work together as well when we do couples readings for people.
Wow. Now, if someone's interested in that, how do they get in touch with you?
Well, they can. Well, there's a bunch of ways. I'm on Facebook as Red Wolf Dancing Bear. I'm on Instagram as Red Wolf Dancing Bear. I am on YouTube as uh, at Red Wolf hyphen tarot mystic, capital T and capital M. I am also on uh, my website is redwulfhealing.com. No, that's a few ways to get a hold of me.
God, you're everywhere. You're all over the place.
Yes,
We
seems
can't.
like it.
Everywhere you look, there you are.
I went from
That's
being a very much a hermit up there to
yeah,
suddenly being put out in all kinds of directions. So it's a little it's a little difference for me to because I'd like that hermit place of listening to myself and healing myself and now it's
yeah,
time to bring the light out into the world, I guess, and share some of the stuff that I learned with people, and that's beautiful. I'm really happy that I broke the stagnation on some levels that I felt up there over the last few years, and moving into a whole new realm for myself and for Feather.
wow.
But
So from a
yeah,
hermit to a celebrity now.
I guess.
That's great. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad for you. I mean, I think it sounds good for both of you, and I don't know. It just sounds really nice. Now, I know that you were very involved when you were in El Moro with theater and art galleries and stuff. What's going on with that? Have you investigated any of that lately or locally or not yet?
Not yet. I keep looking at uh, choral groups, the Gay Men's Choir of New Mexico. I keep thinking about that one. I keep thinking about possibly getting involved with some theater that's happening down here. Haven't really pushed myself in that direction. There's so many other things going on right now that I feel pretty full. But I do get really fed by um, being on stage. I'm right on that Leo Virgo cusp, so I like the stage. I like scripts. I like the stage. I like to act. I like to be in front of people. It's nice to have. I couldn't ever speak in front of people before growing up. I think because I didn't really know what to say, and I didn't have a script, and I didn't have the words and a comfort and the surety in myself to speak. So, the last 30 years has been pushing me to get rid of some of that old baggage for the first 30 years and really step out and get onto some stages and start to speak my healing work and write poetry. And I published a poetry book. So yeah, it's a pretty interesting movement for me to step onto these new stages again.
Right, and there's an aspect of performance with your YouTube videos too.
Yeah, I
I
love
mean,
that.
I know, and you are really good at it. I mean, you for someone who just kind of recently started, you have a real good presence and a way to communicate through these videos and stuff. It's wild.
Thank you very much. Forged by fire.
And
uh,
I will put a link under this video to your YouTube channel too, so people can
Very
watch
cool.
it.
Yeah, I've been in a few plays. I mean, I was in Pippin in Provincetown. I was in um, Amal and the Night Visitors. I was in a dance video in Provincetown. I was in uh, what is it called? Picasso at the La Palagil in El Moro. I was in Sordid Lives at El Moro. There are a couple other plays that I was in, and I started being an event coordinator for the Old School Gallery in El Moro. So usually about 3 or 4 times a year, I was the host of a open mic night, and I ran the bingo night, and I was doing the karaoke night, and put myself out as MC in a lot of ways, and so I feel like I opened myself a lot to just being on stages and trying to be natural and just speak from my heart and my present mind rather than worry about not having a script. So that's been really opening and fun for me.
Well, that's great. I hope everyone goes and watches your videos and looks you up for any of those other things you mentioned too.
Very cool. And I love costumes, so I wanted to say that. I was a clown in a former life, 2 years of being with the Big John Strong Circus as a clown and publicity manager, and that kind of sets the stage for me wanting to put some crazy clothes on and and perform and be true to myself. The authenticity of myself is comes out in these videos, because I do a different outfit for every one of the tarot creations that I'm doing right now, and so that's been
And they are
fun.
awesome. They are unbelievably cool to see. It's I mean, it's regalia. It's it's wonderful. It's so nice to see. And
Thank you.
each one's different too.
Oh, are you
Oh, I
there?
think something
Oh,
happened. Maybe we should wrap it up. I
okay.
think there was a a blip or a glitch. But anyway, thank you very much for coming on and being interviewed, and it's nice to see you and hear you. And it's possible that some people that know you from Connie at Lake might tune in and see this. So,
That'd be fun. I wish to say hi to all my friends all over the world, Conneaut Lake and Provincetown and Portland, Oregon, and Hawaii and California, and all the and Key West, Florida, all those many places I live. I don't know if you'll touch that many people, but I haven't really seen many people from my old home or connected with that many. So much love and much beauty and many blessings and much grace to all of you who see me and remember me.
okay. Well, thanks, Redwulf.
I love you, brother. Thank you very much.
Love you
I
too.
I
And
appreciate it. See
okay,
ya.
great.
All
Bye
right.
bye.
Bye bye now.